What are we doing today? We're going to do a little woodwork. We're going to do a little metal work to turn this makeshift side table into an actual side table. So we start this project off just kind of getting a rough measurement of how large we think the table should be. We transfer those measurements onto the bench and give a representation of what the table will actually hold. Now that we've got all that squared away, it's time to start breaking the shop out. First move on this is to rip the 2x4s down so we get nice clean square edges on the sides. I believe we took about a 1/4 inch off of each side, leaving us about a 3-inch tall 2x4. After that, we pull out the chop saw, start getting everything cut down to length. We ended up building this table right around 15 inches square. I then ran each piece of 2x4 over the belt sander to try to get as flat of a surface as I could before moving on to glue up to try to ensure some nice clean edges between them. Kind of wanted this to end up looking like one solid piece of wood. Get some clamps on there to let it cure up. And now we move on to the steel. I cut the first few pieces of steel just shy of how wide the wood was. Quick verification on that. Next, we went back to the drum room to get a rough estimate on how tall we wanted the unit to be, and then started transferring those measurements. Everything gets a good clean up on all the corners. And we start setting this thing up to weld. Get a good corner-to-corner verification to make sure everything's square. Now we start going vertical with it. Now I'm center punching for our holes. We're going to run screws up through these holes into the wood to secure the table to the legs. Quick countersink to take any burrs off the top of the holes. Quick wipe down, get all the grease and everything off of there. Now it's time for a quick coat of paint. Moving back to the wood while the paint dries on the steel. Ran a belt sander over everything to get it nice and smooth and uniform. Then cleaned up the sides on the table saw. One last round of sanding, get all the corners cleaned up, all the edges to a final 120 grit before moving on to stain. We used ebony finish on this. One coat, let it sit for about 5 minutes, wiped it off, Came back, took 2 coats of polyurethane, seal it up, shine it up. Finished product. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hit that subscribe button down there. Leave some comments. And we'll see what we can get into next time.